Hello everyone and welcome to the lecture about train and test data split. This is a very popular technique and in used in most of the, if not all of the machine learning programs. So I will show you how you can do this in Python also in this lecture. First of all, let us talk about evaluating a model. In machine learning, we create models to predict the outcome of certain events, predict the future, as you might say. And in the previous video, we predicted the CO2 emissions of a car when we knew its weight and engine size. We did this using multiple regression. If you haven't watched the video, please do go back in series and watch this video. It's pretty useful. And also, if you want to measure how good your model is, if you want to measure if the model is good enough, you can use train and test data split. So let's talk about this technique now. So train and test data splitting is a method to measure the accuracy of a model, as we discussed, and this is called train and test data splitting because like its name suggests, you split the dataset into two, a training set and a testing set. Now the convention is that you keep the 80% of the dataset for training and the rest 20% for testing, but this is not a hard and fast rule and can be tweaked. So for example, you can have a 75 and 25 split or a 70-30 split, and people usually make some changes in this ratio. You use the training data to train the model. Training the model here means creating the model, and then you test the model so that you can get the accuracy using the testing set. The testing set is never seen before by the model. It is only seen when it is being tested. Okay, so now let us see this with the help of an example. So let us see the shopping habits of 100 customers. So in the first two lines, we import the necessary packages. Then np.random.seed2. This basically, you can say that this acts like a code for your NumPy random generator. So if you want to reproduce your results somewhere else on a new machine, when you set the seed to what you used in your results, the results that you get in your new analysis or your second analysis would be similar to the one that you had originally. Then you create two lists, x and y. X is a normal distribution with mean 3 and standard deviation 1, and y is again a normal standard deviation with mean 150 but standard deviation 40, and you divide this list by x. Now you create a scatter plot between x and y, and last line plt.show is just for a graphical visualization of this dataset. Now this x-axis, it represents the minutes spent before making a purchase, and y-axis represents the amount of money that the customer spent on the purchase. Okay, so if we see this, so you see we get a scatter plot like this. Here the x-axis meaning the minutes and y-axis the amount. Just similarly. Okay. Yeah. So now, sorry, I made a slight mistake earlier. So the first graph that you saw, which is this one, is the total data distribution, all 100% of the data, x-axis and y-axis. Okay, but next we split the data into 80% we keep it as train, and the rest 20% we keep it as test, and we do this using this indexing method, and then we create a scatter plot using the training dataset just to see whether it looks like the original dataset. If it looks like the original dataset, then we can say that yes, this is a successful split. And as you can see, it looks pretty much like the original dataset, the original scatter plot that we just saw. Okay, and then we create a scatter plot from the test dataset also. Again, to verify whether it looks like the original dataset or not, let us see that. Yeah, and you see that the general distribution is much the same. The values, there are only a few points here, and that is why you are not able to see the complete distribution. But the skeleton of these points, they show you that this dataset is also similar to the original dataset, distribution of this dataset. Okay, now we talk about fitting the dataset, training the model. So like you just saw, the dataset looks good for a polynomial regression. It's not a straight line, but a polynomial regression would be able to fit these data points. Now to draw a line through the data points, we use a plot method from the matplotlib library for Python. Okay, so first 2 lines we import the library, set the seed, create the dataset in the next 2 lines, train and test split in the next 4. Now from here, the highlighted portion is where it gets interesting. So my model equal to np poly1d np.polyfit. It is basically creating a line, a model line. Then my line np.linspace 0 to 6 100. It is creating a line from 0 to 6 100 points with 100 points in that line. Then you create a scatter plot between the train and test, train x and y, and then you plot a graph between the line that you just draw and the model with that line as an input, and then you see. Okay, so let us examine this example. Okay, so this is the scatter plot of the original dataset with the line drawn through it. So as you can see, most of the data is fitting it quite nicely. Even this outlier data is quite close to the line. And then we draw the plot between the line and the model, and that was the line that you had actually seen. Sorry, yeah, this was the line that you actually saw, the scatter plot and the line both in one graph. Okay, so like you just saw, the dataset, it fit a polynomial regression very well. But like you just saw, the left and right hand side of the graph was slightly askew, and thus we would have gotten some weird results had we tried to predict values in those ranges. But now let us talk about the R-squared score. Like you had seen in my previous lecture, the R-squared score is a good indicator of how well the dataset is fitting the model. R square measured the relationship between the x-axis and the y-axis, and the value, it ranges from 0 to 1, 0 meaning no relationship and 1 meaning perfectly related. The sklearn library module has a method called R2 score that can help you find the R squared coefficient. So now here we would like to measure the relationship between the minutes a customer stayed in the shop and how much money he actually spent, x and y axis. So we do that using the code example here. So we have already discussed everything except the last 2 lines, and here in this example we will discuss the last 2 lines. So R2 score from the sklearn.metrics package, we feed it 2 arguments, 2 parameters, train y and my model train x. So basically you feed it the y and what your model returns after feeding it the train x, and then you print the result. Okay, so let us see what we get, and we get an R squared of 0.79, which is obviously not perfect but very highly correlated. This means that you can use polynomial regression for prediction. Okay, but until now we have only dealt with the training dataset. Let us bring in the test dataset now. First of all, let us just print the R2 score of the test dataset. We previously printed the R2 score of the train dataset. This time we'll print the R2 score of the test dataset. Again, the syntax is similar to the previous example. We just replace train y with test y and train x with test x, my model test x. Okay, and you'll see when I run this, I get an even higher r squared, 0.8. So this means that the testing dataset is even better related with my original dataset. Okay, and now let us talk about predicting values. Until now we have only talked about the r squared and how well the dataset fits the model. Okay, so we have established that our model is okay and polynomial regression is a good fit. So let us say we want to find out how much money a customer spends if they stay in the shop for 5 minutes. We can do this by using the code snippet here. Print parenthesis my model parenthesis 5, time in minutes. So this example, when you run this, it will print out $22.8, and this is what the scatter plot also suggested, the polynomial regression line and the scatter plot. Okay, so thank you for attending this lecture. Please make sure to attend the next lecture. This will be the last lecture in the series, and I hope to see you in the next lecture. Bye, take care.